Hey, Sim here. We're back. I've taken a long break over the last month. It's been it's actually been over a month since my last video. But in today's video, we are back. I'm going to be talking a bit about why I had a break. In fact, I don't need to say why I had a break. I'm going to be talking about my break more to the point, and also what we've got coming up, but also maybe some content that I released in the last week that you maybe didn't catch that wasn't on my channel. Okay, let's get stuck in. Okay, so as you can see, I've been away for a long time. I think the last time I posted a video, if we just go to my YouTube channel, let's just go to YouTube here and go straight to my channel. If I can hit the link before you all see the wonderful taste that I have in computer building and F1. I actually need to go to my other account, my Tableau Tim account. Here we go. Actually, I have several YouTube accounts, and here we are. The last video that I released, channel doesn't have any content. This is like my worst nightmare. Okay, so if I go in here and go to switch account, and what's going on here? Oh, oh my god, this is so funny. Oh gosh, this is like the worst, funniest April Fool's joke you can play on yourself. Clicking the wrong account that also happens to have the same logo. What I need to do is actually click on your channel, and it goes to that.
This thing called Tableau.
Okay, I thought I'd lost my YouTube channel for a second. That would have been bad. Anyway, back to the video. So yeah, as you can see, the last video that I posted was a month ago, just over a month ago, in fact. And essentially, what actually goes on behind the scenes is I plan a whole load of content in advance. And so I actually planned most of the content you saw up until a month ago, 3 months before. I sort of made a list of all the stuff I was going to do. I planned it out, and then I basically was always about 3 weeks ahead of the plan. So essentially, by the time it got to February, I stopped planning more content because I was getting extremely busy with work and life and a few other things which I'll come to in a second. And so I stopped planning the content, and then that meant that when it got to March, the end of March, I ran out of content to create. Now, it's very easy to just hit record and just record any old thing and upload it, but I really want to sort of stick on the sort of campaign that I'm on with functions. I really want to make sure each video is well researched, and I'm giving you just the right amount of tips to really get stuck in, but not too long and too onerous to make you sort of, get bored very quickly. So I essentially hadn't planned new content. So that's one element. Now, the other element is I also make videos outside of YouTube on behalf of other companies as well. So I was making a lot of other videos that are Tableau related, but are not necessarily public videos that you'll see on my channel. So those you'll see on other channels, I sort of feature them on the Tableau Tim website. If you actually go to this playlist and you go to this very bottom one here, you'll see guest appearances. That's actually like a secret playlist on my website where I show videos where I've put them elsewhere, but it's right at the bottom right hand corner of my site. It's not really something to sort of go to. And so yeah, I've been making a lot of those videos, and it's also taken up a lot of time. Now, something I haven't really mentioned on the channel before, I haven't really publicly shared this out on Twitter or anything, is in October I became a dad. So I've also spent time really sort of enjoying the milestones that come with fatherhood and your child. And so just been spending more quality time with the family and just really enjoying things now that lockdown is starting to sort of ease in various parts of the UK. The weather's starting to get better. It's just much easier to go out and do things. So essentially I wanted to take an opportunity to do more of that. And just April was just the perfect time to do that. Spring is here. It's a beautiful time to get out there and enjoy life a bit more. So I just sort of impromptu decided, you know what, April, I'm just not going to create any content. But it's been great to see that people are still enjoying content on the channel. If I go to my analytics, I keep seeing wonderful sort of uptake on content that I've released a long while ago. Even though I didn't release any new content, I still managed to get 53,000 views, and that's because lots of my other content is helpful. I also did a lot on the 2020.1 release, if you missed that. So that's another great bit of content. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. So what's to come? Well, a couple of things. Well, I did a talk in the last week. I did 2 talks in the last week, actually. The first one was at the Analytics Tableau user group. If you don't know what this is an absolutely incredible group. I sort of said yes to this, not really knowing what kind of numbers turn up. And then the organizers sort of got in touch. This is Annabelle and Sadell, and got in touch and said, yeah, we had 3,500 people sign up to this. I was like, yeah, right. You know how these things go. People sign up, they don't actually turn up. Signed on to the actual thing to give the talk, and there were 1,700 people when I sort of clocked the number at the highest point. Roughly that. I'm sure they have stats on that, but it was amazing. So many people on this course, so vibrant, so many great questions in there. And in that session, what I was doing is I talk about all my favorite functions. You can actually catch it here on YouTube. I'm going to link to it in the description below so you can go check it out. But it was really, really fun. I basically talked about functions that I can't live without. I covered some of the functions I've already covered on this channel, as well as some other ones as well that I haven't covered that we'll get to very soon. So that's one thing. And then over on the VizConnect channel, I don't think the video for this has been made public just yet, but on this community group in VizConnect, I actually did a talk about the best version of Tableau being Tableau Online and the browser version of Tableau. I know it's a very unpopular opinion. A lot of people love their desktop version of Tableau, but I vehemently believe that actually, you know, in the future, if you want to have the best experience, Tableau Online in combination with the browser is going to be the best place to do that. And so what I did is I talked a little bit about Tableau Online, how it works, some of the things you need to sort of be aware of, some of the gotchas you need to be aware of as well, because there are a few that if you don't know up front can kind of catch you out. So I talked a bit about that, and I talked a bit about, you know, the positives of having a platform that is maintained and run by Tableau themselves versus having your own infrastructure team running a Tableau server on premise. So it's not a perfect world yet, but I was trying to sort of paint the picture of what the future could look like and why I think that's going to be one of the most important versions going forward. If you didn't read between the lines at the previous conference, you know, I can't tell you how many times the browser was brought up in various talks. And so that is a part of Tableau that's taking up a lot of mind share, and they're going to keep pushing, because once they have parity with the browser, it's going to be much, much easier to deliver products. And bear in mind, they're owned by a company, Salesforce, who run everything in the browser. It sort of makes sense in that sense. So check out that session once it's available. It's a really, really good talk. I really enjoyed it. In terms of what's next, just literally half an hour ago, I just sat the first sort of bunch of certification that I need to set off on my path. So I'm going to be doing a video on certification at some point this year, and I sort of want to do it from a point of validity. I don't want to just sort of come on here and talk through all the different certifications without having had a fresh experience of taking them. So I have actually had certifications at Tableau for a long while. Some of them have expired, some of them are about to expire. So this year I've got this sort of certification train coming up, and the first one I just sat was actually an exam for partners. It's called the Tableau Consulting Associate. Let me just go look it up. I think if I just search Tableau Pearson View, I think it will come up, because it's the only exam that you can do on the Pearson View system. So it's essentially the if I go to certification information here, yeah, it's on the pages here. So if you go to the bottom, it's the Certified Associate Consultant and the Certified Associate Architect. These are for Tableau partners. You can only do them if you're part of a Tableau partner. And in order to get access to this PDF that tells you what's in it, you have to be a Tableau partner. So I've got access to that PDF. I'll go through it in a separate video. I'll maybe do that by the end of this week. But I'll give you a little glimpse into what that exam is like. It's not an open book exam like the other exams up here. In terms of these exams, the specialist exam was new. So I had the associate and the certified professional. I believe both of those of mine. I think the certified professional has expired, but my certified associate has some sort of funny thing going on where it's not visible, but it should be, because I have done it anyway. Need to get back to that. I think it expires at the beginning of next year, so I've only got a year on that anyway, so I should get my certified professional, so that when that lapses, I've still got another year on the certified professional to keep me going. And then on my server, I'm a certified professional server at the moment, but that's going to run out, I think, later this year. Towards the end of this year, that's going to run out. So I might as well start the train on some of these other ones. Now, what I can do is sit the certified professional before the certified associate. I can sit the certified professional again before my current one expires, to not have to do the certified associate. But the way these things work, you might as well just revise for both, because one is like a prerequisite for the other. So I might do one of those sort of personally, just to try and see what the experience is like, so that hopefully by the end of the year, my real target is to be able to get on camera here and say, look, I've done all these exams, I've passed all these exams, and this is what it's like. This is what all the certifications are like. There's also a couple of other certification and accreditations that are not on here. One of them is the trainer. So you need to be a certified trainer for Tableau to teach courses on behalf of Tableau, and so you have to go on a week-long training course. That's again for Tableau partners, and you have to be affiliated to a Tableau partner in order to be able to do that certification. So that's something. It's not really an exam per se. Does have a test involved in it, but it's like a week-long course, and then you have to sort of show examples of you teaching Tableau, and then on top of that you have to kind of teach an element of Tableau to someone at Tableau who teaches the course in order to pass. So that's sort of part of your process. So certification is going to be another thing that I will touch on. Last but not least, there's so much more other content going on. This week is Tableau Live Europe. Next week it'll be Asia, and the week after that it'll be America. So no doubt there'll be lots of little snippets and news from Tableau Live that I'm going to be able to share. Ravi and I are going to be doing another live stream. We're going to be doing it for the American stream, so we won't be doing it this week with the European stream or next week with the Asian stream, but we will be doing with the American stream, just to give us an opportunity to really do something and not spoil it for everyone. So we'll do it for the final one in America, and that's the one that also probably has the biggest attendance as well. So that makes the most sense for us. So check that out. We've also been doing podcasts. There's so much stuff that we do that's not on the channel. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Let me just show you our website for our podcast, datumpodcast.com. This is a podcast we've been running for years. If you don't know about this, is the first time you're hearing about it, great. We talked to Anna Casey, who's a lead user researcher at Tableau, and we talked a little bit about her journey to Tableau, how she got there, what user experience really means for her, what user research really means for her. Those are sort of two slightly different topics. And then we also talked a bit about how you can bring some of that to dashboard design. So that was really, really fun, really great conversation. Go check it out. And by the way, if you haven't checked out our podcast, please do. It's available on all the podcast players in the world. Apple did some weird things with Apple Podcasts in the most recent update. So I'm aware that our podcast might not be appearing on certain podcast apps because Apple have switched off a feature in the Apple Podcast app to share our podcast to other podcast apps. So if you're having struggles finding that, just bear with us while we try and get into that. I can't get into the panel to change things. It's been a whole mess, Apple. I don't know what they're doing. They're always trying to change things for the better and then they make it worse. But that's the way it is. So that's a super fast rundown of everything we got going. Today, we're back, and as of this week, we're going to be pumping out more videos. We're going to be pushing on with functions. There's a whole bunch of content around on server as well that I've really been meaning to take on. I know a lot of you have asked for that. I keep saying I will, and I haven't. So I've got a sort of a hole burning in the back of my neck here where I need to sort of get onto that case. So thank you so much for staying tuned. Thank you for everyone who watches the videos. Really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one.